So welcome back to Summoner 2. Before we head to the prison of Indubar, which is our next objective, we're going to make a short stop at Miridan's Pass, which is an area for much later in the game, which has just opened up now for us to explore. This area has no voice acting for some reason, so I'll just save the text in case you don't feel like reading it. Miridan's Pass. I haven't been here in 16 years. That was the last time I saw Azraman. You won our freedom in this valley after your brother surrendered. Azraman never surrendered, your grace. He withdrew his armies and now waits for you to die. You shall have to wait a very long time. From here you can see Gaudir through that arc between the peaks. So this area is actually for quests later in the game, but for the time being it's opened up and there's a few things that we can do here, which are going to be very helpful for us. Before we do anything, we want a point into fire and 2 points into discipline fire. Now we have the ability to enchant weapons with fire and for it to be 50% more effective. And due to having 3 enemies here, we're just going to enchant everyone with fire so we can easily burn through them. Maya doesn't need to be enchanted since she already has a flaming cutlass, so it would be pointless giving it to her. Now these enemies are going to be really annoying, constantly healing this guy. But luckily we managed to plow through it. It basically depends on if they feel like attacking or healing. Like these fights can take ridiculously long, just in case they feel like constantly healing themselves. Like the ideal thing I suppose would be to attack all 3 to interrupt them, but interrupting isn't 100% chance, so you might just be wasting your time. So here we find a wardstone at this wall. On campaign, Gandiran soldiers often built temporary earthworks known as rafts. Following ancient customs, the soldiers would place a wardstone within their defences. The soldiers believed that the raft would fall without the wardstone's protection. So that wardstone is actually going to be used in basically the same way that the Heart of Arxis is going to be used, which was an item we got in the, I think it was 2 parts ago, in the Sepulchre. They used to basically empower another type of side quest that we're going to be doing. You may have noticed that we picked up a nut then, and nuts are going to be specific for a side quest in this area as well. The kings of ancient Halasar built this shrine, and it's known as the White Lady, and it bestows good fortune to anyone who kisses the brow. So we're going to have to raise these platforms by hitting these gongs. The only 2 ways you can hit these gongs are to use the 2 characters with ranged abilities. At the moment, only Sangrel in our party can use ranged abilities. So we get a quick tutorial telling us how to do it. So, as well as being a master assassin, Sangrel also has the power of precognition and happens to know the exact order to hit these gongs. So that's red, yellow and blue. And then the next one is going to be orange, green, yellow and red. And yes, red, yellow and orange look basically the same, very slightly changed with this purple tint, which is kind of annoying. Then the final one is blue, orange, red, yellow and green. So this is a side quest that basically takes the majority of the game before you can do it legit, and the actual reward you get from it is going to be incredibly weak for that point of the game. So if we actually do it now, we can actually make use of the reward, so I don't mind doing it. And yes, the answer to that is exactly the same every time you play the game. So we get a summoner ring, which gives us +1 summon. It's okay, I suppose. But mainly we get 15,000 experience points, which means we don't have to grind here, which you would usually want to do. So now everyone's got about 3 to 4 levels, and we can now give everybody some quite decent abilities. So first off, with Sangrel, we're going to max out her stealth ability. Now we have, as well as steel, which we want to make use of here, we have sunken state, which is basically an improved version of sneak. And we can also get some points to assassination, so let's do that. This will allow it to paralyze the target, which is going to be incredibly useful. I don't know if the AI actually does it though. Hopefully they do, because then it will be really helpful. And you also get some other abilities. Throat slit to silence the target. She can leech some health. She can deal damage to herself and the enemy. Inflict ice damage. And then we go down to her backstabs and arm and leg slices. And one of the poisons she gets later is to inflict silence. So that point in assassination basically cancels out the point in poison we could have taken. And with Maya, we have a very specific thing we want to do. We want to have 8 points in necromancy and 5 points in discipline fire. Now, as well as her fire spells being 50% more effective, all the stats on her fire-based weapons, basically her fire scimitar, are also going to be 50% better, which means that she is going to be doing 50% more damage with all her base attacks while she has that weapon equipped, which is very nice. And yes, it also works for weapons that have been enchanted, like if you've used enchant fire. And with Torgus, we want to get 10 points into warrior, so now he will be able to go into an offensive stance to deal extra damage. He'll be able to recover health, 80% health, with quite a long cooldown, but that is going to save his life a lot. And he can also taunt. He also has defensive stance, which is the opposite of offensive, but we don't really want to make use of that much. Let's see, so now he has 50% better stats on fire-based weapons as well, so when we use enchant fire on him, that's going to help us quite a lot. And let's give him some points into nimble attack, just to make him a better AI partner. Okay. Now with Torgus, we want to put him, because the AI won't do this, into an offensive stance. There you go. Now he's going to basically just be dealing a hell of a lot of damage. He's less tanky now, but at this point in the game, considering the fact he just got some levels, that shouldn't be a problem. It should just speed up the game as a whole at this point. Like, if I want him to be a tank, if I put him in defensive stance, he'll deal incredibly petty damage, but he'll basically never die. Yeah, I think he just did 280 damage then. I may be mistaken. Yep, he's dealing like 180 to 190 damage constantly. Now then, we're just going to make a quick use of steel and sunken state at the moment, because I want to show you stealing. Now stealing is a very useful ability, but it isn't a very high success rate, but if you do it when you're stealthed, it's a lot higher. There we go, we stole some Gaudia boots. And here we have Paralyze. As you can see, it completely paralyzes the enemy, they can't do anything. Now up there we have some Gaudian soldiers, but we're just going to leave them be for the moment. We're going to go and kill them later. Because right now, there's another side quest I want to show you. Ideally, we want to be able to put 10 points into discipline fire with both Maya and Torgus as soon as possible. Because it will just allow them to deal a hell of a lot of bonus damage, and the extra duration on enchant fire is always going to be nice. So here we have a creature! Yay! And it looks bored, probably like all of you watching this. We get to pet it. We get to play with it. We get to pick it up and put it next to a fire or water. And we get to feed it with nuts. So basically, what we want to do here, and what I am going to off screen, I'm not going to show you me doing this, is I'm going to go and get a lot of nuts to give to this creature. So we'll be back after we've done that, and we're also going to steal more loot. Basically, we can steal Gaudian boots from those zombies, and we can steal Gaudian gloves, and I think Gaudian chests or greaves from the Gaudian soldiers. So we'll be right back after we've done that. Okay, so I've just finished about 20 minutes of farming for those nuts. I still didn't get that many of them, but as you can see, the creature is currently happy. If he remains like this, then he'll be on our side later into the game, which is for a little side quest with him. And we also happen to get a full armour set, barring the leggings, of the Gauderan set from stealing from these guys. We would be able to buy this a very little bit later into the game, but we can steal it now, so we may as well. So as you can see, she just has this snazzy new look. We haven't got any upgrade of leggings yet because there's nothing here that gives it. But if we want some snazzy look, then look no further than Torgus. Look at this gold-plated armour, or brass, whatever it is. That's ridiculous, and I love it. Yep, so now Torgus is just running around all gold-plated, and I'm just going to show you one of the new spells we happen to get, because I forgot to mention it earlier, the necromancy upgrades. We can make ourselves immune to the death spell, which is incredibly important later into the game. We can destroy undead, which you could use on these dudes here. We can now resurrect with actually giving them HP rather than just bringing them up with 1 hit point so they die instantly. But most importantly, we can now cast death. Now first off, let's just cast destroy undead on you. Yep, we can one-shot undead dudes. But most importantly, with death, we can one-shot anyone, as long as it hits. It does need to hit, and it has a very low hit chance, but when it works, it won't look like that. Let's try on you. There we go, instant kill. And yes, that spell works on even the most powerful non-bosses in the game, which is incredibly powerful. Being able to one-shot anyone is incredible. It has a very low hit chance, but the point is that you can spam it as long as you have the ability points. And later into the game, mana is no issue for us. So that's basically what Maya is going to do later into the game. I'm just going to spam the hell out of death. And we're going to win the game by doing that, basically. Now I also want to show, if you go down here, for you to follow me. I'm going to show a little bit more about Sangro here, because we got one of her new abilities, which is the Paralyze. And now that dude is absolutely paralysed, and we can backstab him and instant kill him. And let's look at how long the Paralyze lasts. Yep, he's completely stuck and can't do a thing for this long. That is ridiculous. We may as well steal. He's already been looted, never mind. He's still paralysed. We can do whatever we want to him. He can't stop us. Yeah, this spell is completely broken. Like, Paralyze is the single most broken spell in the game, I would say. It is absolutely stupid. I don't think the AI uses it though, so we need to control Sangro ourselves to use it. But as you can see, this guy is just not going to do anything. Ever. I don't know if it is actually going to run out, or if I'm going to just be dancing around him forever. I don't actually know. Like, no fight would last this long, even if he was able to fully attack me. There we go, now he finally comes out of it. So that was like a 4-minute long paralyze or something. Sadly we got him up against a wall, so I don't think a backstab is going to work from there. Nope. Oh well. So that is the power of assassination being max, which is a very useful thing to get from her, as you can see. So now we're just actually going to head off to the prison of Indubar for good. This might end up just being a bonus episode, I don't really know, since we don't really do anything here, but then again, we did get a load of experience and levels, so that's the important thing. So that's it for now, and next time we're going to head off to Indubar, where we're actually supposed to be going to get to Crobolus.